Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit, Week in Wrestling. Just going to give you the most important news stories, in our opinion, of the last week. We're going to focus most of the show on our predictions for Night of Champions and Double or Nothing.
Nothing.
Yep. Double or Nothing. We will also hear from Della on what's going on in the world of women's wrestling. If you can do us a big favor, like and comment on the video. It really helps with the algorithm. If you're listening to this on the podcast, like, follow, and set us up for automatic downloads for new episodes. And with that, we're about to get into it.
Yes, sir. Hold on. I gotta make this official. Make it official. You piece of shit. There we go. Week in wrestling. There we go. Now
There
I got
we
the proper
go.
shit going on.
There we go. Also, don't forget the merch. We've got all the merch you could want at heelshitshop.com. Heelshitshop.com. Also, all social media, YouTube, Rumble, everything at Heel Shit Podcast. We make it real simple. All right.
Yes, sir.
What do we got first, dude?
Real quick.
Yep.
The contest is closed. We have over 500 entries for this contest. That is for 2 new logo Heel Shit Podcast t-shirts, and we will be announcing the winners this coming up HSP on Monday.
Yes,
so stay tuned for that. Make sure you listen in. If it's you, we'll give you the instructions right there on the podcast, and we will go from there.
Absolutely. And we're going to we'll announce a new contest early in June. We're going to do these about once a month. So you guys can definitely get on it. All right. So what do we got up first? We got Night of Champions?
Yeah, let's go over Night of Champions.
All
right. I feel AEW is going to blow Night of Champions out of the water, in my opinion, anyway, just from the 2 cards that were set up. But I would like for us to go over each match briefly, if possible. I know sometimes we take a left turn and we go down a fucking side road for fucking 20, 30 minutes. We're going to try not to do that. However, you know how we are, especially when Della, the person who hates bald people, is not on right now. She'll be joining us in just a few. So let's go ahead and get into it. Even though Della's not here, I want to start off with the Becky Lynch Trish Stratus storyline and the match going into Night of Champions. I don't fucking care about this.
Nobody
I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking cares. Look, when you can hear crickets when Trish Stratus comes out, you gotta abandon the shit. All right? She is not believable as a heel right now. I don't know if, I mean, obviously she was at one point, but she's not right now. I mean, when her music plays, no one does shit.
That's because they're so fucking confused, because automatically they want to cheer because, you know, she is the Hall of Famer. She is the record setter for fucking women's championships before Charlotte Flair broke it. You know, and I just don't understand the heel turn. If anything, I would have understood Lita turning heel.
Yep. Much better.
But this whole Becky Lynch Trish Stratus thing, this is like, to me, this feels like they're throwing shit against the wall and just seeing what's going to stick.
Yeah.
And I get it. You need Becky to have a match at the fucking Saudi Arabia show because she is your main draw on Raw right now, besides Rhea Ripley. Which I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck Rhea does not have a fucking match in Saudi Arabia, but we get Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus.
Because it's a fucking throwaway show, man. They go there, they get paid $50 million, and that's it. Like, they might as well not even televise the shit.
I agree. And the fact, you know, we're having to... The only reason I'm sent through this is because of the world title. But the fact we got to sit through all of this to get to the fucking world title. Now, granted, there's a couple matches on here that are going to be fucking bangers. But pay-per-view quality, I think not. And this is one of those that if you grew up like we did, this is a Sunday Night Heat match.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I think it's hilarious how they got the rhetoric that's coming out of Trish's mouth in this, and why they would do that and then bring up the shit that Vince made Trish do in the past. Like, I don't know if you saw Monday's Raw yet, but during the contract signing, she was running her mouth about, Becky not doing so-and-so, doing stuff that's embarrassing, and Becky was like, at least I wasn't barking like a fucking dog. Like, you can't start throwing jabs like that when it's so easy to go at Trish with it. How many bra and panties matches was she in? She was probably in a pudding match. She's barking like a dog. She's having an affair with the boss. Like, you can't have her throw jabs at people with a history like that.
Nope. And, you just covered basically a 6-month run of her career. That's not including the shit with fucking Christian and Jericho in 2004. That's not including the fucking last run before she fucking finally, quote unquote, retired in 2006. It's scrambled eggs. I've said it many times before. It's fucking scrambled eggs. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I have no interest in it. This match is designed to get Becky over as a babyface so she can become the next #1 contender for whatever fucking women's title is on Raw at this point. I can't even tell if it's Raw or SmackDown because they fucking flip-flop so goddamn much.
Right. Yeah.
So, with all that said, I said Becky's going over in this match. So, what do you feel?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It would be a crazy move if Trish won.
Mm-hmm. So, we're both agreeing that Becky is going over on Trish.
And this cannot...
I sincerely hope
this cannot be a 3-match feud.
No, this has got to be a one and done. I can also kind of see if Lita makes a return at this pay-per-view, but turns on Becky.
Right.
And then, that'll lead into a Lita Becky thing, which, they've been compared so many fucking times, if for nothing else because of the red hair, but there's other fucking reasons why. But I sincerely hope this is match 1 so I can deliberately oversleep and miss it.
It'll probably be match 1, but I posted it on Facebook while I was watching the show last night. Like, that family dresses fucking atrociously. Both of them. Jesus Christ, she looks retarded. She looks like a kid who the parents were just like, just go pick out whatever you want to wear to school today. And that's the kind of shit they'd come out with. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
You notice she couldn't. You notice she almost fell walking up the steps getting into the ring last night because she had those fucking 17-inch platform shoes that she couldn't fucking maneuver in. Like, come.
And I'm confused as hell by that because when Becky made her return, like, it almost felt like they were going back to the man gimmick and like getting away from the big time Bex shit.
Right, and that's, they've ran
like
with
every
the man
week.
shit.
It looks like they're swerving in and out of that shit. Now with Seth, I get it. It's part of his gimmick. He's supposed to be fucking annoying, so he dressed as fucking annoying.
Right.
But even now, there's been a couple of attires he's worn. I'm like, I'd wear that. So it's getting over with me too. But
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so.
All right,
Becky's going over in my opinion.
Over, yeah. Next.
If Lita shows up, great. If not, I don't fucking care.
What's the next match?
Okay, so the next that's another women's match. Go figure. So it's Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. But here's the thing: they're both on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't get it. The last time they switched the champions on the shows, they just did a ceremony where they just gave the fucking respected women's titles to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking understand this. This is also another thing that I didn't know was going on. But with the way that they're pushing Bianca, unfortunately, it's just going to be a repeat, and Asuka's not going to win.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think this is going to be more entertaining than the first women's match. My tongue stopped working. English is fucking hard, ladies and gentlemen. But I think this is going to be a better match performance-wise. I'm hoping Asuka finally wins. I don't see it happening just because of how much they've been pushing Bianca for the past she won that title last year's WrestleMania, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, because it was against Sasha.
Right.
Or Mercedes.
Mercedes. Yeah.
Money.
Well, I've got Belair on this one just because, unless, I heard rumors that they were thinking about a heel turn for Bianca and the Street Profits. So, I mean, there's a slim chance that Asuka could win it and Belair turn. But I think Asuka's billed as the heel in this match. I don't think it's babyface versus babyface.
I hope not, because those matches always bore the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I need a good guy and I need a bad guy and I need the story of that. But I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. If they break up the Street Profits and Montez gets with Cedric and Shelton, I booked that shit. They listened to our podcast and they stole our shit.
You're right. You're right. All right.
But so both of us were saying Bianca goes over
on
this one. Okay.
What's next?
A match that surprised the hell out of me because I'm gonna be honest, I ain't watched Raw in the past couple of weeks with everything going on in my life between work and other shit. But it is Gunther Walter defending his Intercontinental Championship against Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, Mustafa won a Battle Royal last week, I guess. And as talented as he is, unfortunately, it's absolutely true that the only reason he won that match is because this pay-per-view is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that. It seems anytime a Saudi pay-per-view comes up, he magically gets a fucking push. But a week after the Saudi pay-per-view, he disappears the fucking main event or worse.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fucking hell of a fucking talent.
Yeah, he is.
He's proven his fucking worth.
Yep.
I don't fucking understand it. Like, when the 205 shit was going on and they were trying to make him the face of 205 after Pac left, like, I thought he was going to be like that next big mid-card guy.
Yeah.
The next guy that's going to be like the main guy for the IC belt or US belt, whichever show he's on.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking buried him, kind of like they did Akira Tozawa when they gave him the fucking kung fu shit.
Yeah. So I anticipate them letting Ali have a little bit of shine at the beginning, but there's no question who wins this match. Gunther all day and 5 times on Sunday.
Yep. It's going to be Gunther, Walter, just handing out chops all night, day long.
Yep.
All right.
Next.
So, next match got pretty interesting with the angle that they ran on Raw last night. It's Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. Part 2. what are your thoughts on them running the broken arm gimmick going into Saudi?
I'm pretty confident in my thought about this. They have to let Brock win because there's going to be a third match at this point. They have to
Mm-hmm.
have a legitimate reason why they let Cody lose, which is the arm. But even in losing, he's going to win because it's going to be all heart. He's going to take Brock to the limit straight off a heart. He's going to get that kind of babyface love. He's going to win. He's going to lose the match, but it's going to be after a crazy, hard fought, neck and neck fight, in my opinion.
Yep. Well, I told you this a month ago, like when Brock did the heel turn at Raw, that they were going to make this a 3-match deal.
Yeah.
Cody's going to win the first one, Brock's going to win the second one, and then they're going to have the rubber match at SummerSlam. I can't really suspend my disbelief enough to believe that this match won't last more than 3 or 4 minutes because of the broken arm. It, like, even when he did the match with Seth last year with a torn bicep, right? They worked around it while using it. But if you're going to try to work around your fucking arm being broken and Brock's go-to for that is the fucking Kimura, this has got to end in 3 or 4 minutes tops. Brock's got to dominate this motherfucker.
Well, I mean, if he dominates him, then I envision a no tap but pass out situation for Cody.
I see Triple H going out there and calling the match off. With how Raw ended last night, with
Right.
him doing that little backstage segment, I see Triple H going out there and throwing the towel in, and that keeps Cody from tapping, that keeps him from looking like a bitch, more or less, makes him still look strong because he passes out from the motherfucker or Triple H throws it in. And it kind of gives Brock a little side story for a couple months to feud with the head of the company.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're not going to get Triple H in the ring again. I mean, his heart just can't take it, literally. But, I mean, Triple H has still got NXT guys he can fucking bring in. That'd be a good time to bring in fucking Braun. Let Braun and Brock work for a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
But I say Brock goes over.
I think so too. Alrighty.
On to the next match. We have the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships on the line as Sammy and Kevin goes against the Bloodline, but it's not the Usos. It's Solo Sikoa and your tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. How do you feel about this going on in Saudi?
This could either go one of two ways, I think. I think Sami and KO keep the belts either way.
Mm-hmm.
But do they just go the route where, they just pin Solo? Or do we finally see that that Usos turning on them a little bit and costing them the match? Even if they don't outright turn on them, somehow cost them the match. So I anticipate this match will just progress that storyline, and I don't see any way KO and Sami lose the belts.
No. And again, I said this a couple of weeks ago on WiW when Yumi and Della were talking about it. It's either Solo's going to be fucking counting lights, and it hurts them, or we're going to see an inadvertent disqualification or some sort to keep the titles on them, and it's going to be the Usos causing the disqualification, and that's going to set up basically the beginning of the end of the Usos being in the bloodline, and that's going to end up either at SummerSlam or a pay-per-view after, basically rounding up bloodline.
Right. Yep.
Like the end is in sight.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I don't see Roman doing a lot on this show.
Mm-mm.
I see Solo carrying 80% of that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is also a way for them to have Roman on the show and not defend the fucking undisputed title, but still be able to get, their payoff because Roman's their main guy.
Right.
But I'm with you. I'm saying Sammy and Kevin retain, but I think it's going to be a clusterfuck at the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a shame, because then you start feeling bad for Sammy and Kevin. They're just there as bodies to fucking, again, push bloodline shit, and then they're going to be pushed to the side. Then they're just, another set of tag team champions afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a continued role in that storyline. I mean, they're going to have to.
I'm sure they will, but for this show,
yeah,
I feel they're kind of getting the shit end of the stick as far as that story.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, no, it sounds like we agree on pretty much all the outcomes. So.
Yep. Now this is going to be the one that that may or may not break the deal, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main. I'm not Della. I can't fucking do that shit. It's the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Now, it has been confirmed that this World Heavyweight Championship, which I will call the BFG, the big fake-ass gold belt, will continue the lineage of the original Big Gold from 2002 to when it merged with the WWE title in 2014.
Well, I've also heard that AJ Styles has come out and called it the number 3 belt in the company, so I can't imagine he wins. I think Seth wins.
Yeah, especially as much as they've been pushing this this pedigree miniseries with Seth on Raw the past couple of weeks.
Right.
I mean, if they don't put it on Seth at this point, I mean, granted, I've been saying for a while, it's been long overdue. AJ needs a fucking world title run. I don't want it to be this fucking world title. I want it to be the undisputed world title. But I'm kind of with you. Seth is going to carry fucking Monday Night Raw, which this goes back to what we talked about a couple weeks ago. What was the point of putting SmackDown guys in this tournament if it's going to be a Raw championship? Furthermore, why in the fuck would you put AJ Styles in the main event of it, knowing he's going to lose? Because if he won, which won't fucking happen, that breaks up the fucking OC, so you basically destroyed a fucking draft pick.
Can't argue with that. I mean,
I don't get it. Like, is there a flaw in my thinking there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think they're going to have to solve that third best belt problem. They're going to have to, when, let's say, Cody finally beats Reigns, they're going to have to just condense that down to one belt. I mean, they can't keep throwing around 2 belts when those are the top 2 belts in the company, and then you got the Raw guy who's got the third belt.
But here's the thing, then. Sorry, microphone. If they get rid of the Universal title and they just go back to the WWE Championship, you basically buried the lineage of the Universal title, quote unquote. But if you get rid of the WWE Championship, you're doing something to that company that has not been done ever. And that's getting rid of the main championship of the WWE, the one that's carried by Hulk Hogan, the one carried by Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino. We can go on and on and on.
If I had to get,
I've never liked the.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I just say that
I've never.
I'm gonna shut up. You talk.
I have never understood the concept behind creating the Universal Championship. You already had 2 world champions. You've had the belts merged into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If you wanted to have a secondary fucking title again, you should have done this move years ago and bring back, say it with me, World Heavyweight Champion. That way you wouldn't be in this fucking pickle you are now with the Universal title.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to venture a guess, whoever dethrones Reigns, they'll have one new belt, and it'll be the WWE Championship again. I don't, unless they call it the WWE Universal Championship, but it'll be one belt. And I hope it's Cody, and they bring back at least some kind of a nod to the Winged Eagle.
I mean, did you see that custom championship that was floating around? Was it Dave Milliken, Reggie Parker, or someone like that that made a custom belt and presented it to him at WrestleMania this year? I would flip shit if that belt got debuted.
What did it look like?
I mean, I'll have to send you a picture of it. When we go through our bill paying area, I will send it to you and we can post it on screen and we can finish talking about it. But as far as the actual match itself, I mean, it's a shoo-in. Seth Rollins is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, Seth wins.
Yeah, hands down.
So,
all right. So that covers Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, which is supposed to be King and Queen of the Ring, which I'm still trying to figure out why the fuck that was dropped.
Yeah, I have no
That'd been such a great concept.
No idea. All right, well, that does it for Night of
Bills
Champions.
we got to pay real quick, my guy.
Yeah, man. Let's be right back. We'll be right back after a word from Castel Vodka.
Vodka, Ball, Castel. Indulge in the Redvolution.
Thank you, Castel Vodka, for sponsoring the podcast. We just did Night of Champions predictions. Let's move on to Double or Nothing predictions.
Yes, let me get them pulled up. Actually, I'm still pulling up the belt. It was a little bit harder for me to find, but I got it right here.
Okay.
I'm going to send this screenshot to you, and you can put it up on screen for us, for those of you that watch in YouTube land.
Yep.
That out. And sent, my guy. So you get that pulled up. I will get the AEW card pulled up, and we will rock and fucking roll.
That's dope. That is dope. Yeah, I'll put it on screen for the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And it's like you wanted like a winged eagle kind of homage, and that perfectly suits it.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
AEW. Now, remember, guys, AEW Double or Nothing is being shown in select theaters, and we will be at Orange Park Mall, the AMC.
Hold on, I'm going to pause. All right.
I'll have to check my router when we get done.
All right. So what's the card looking like?
Oh, fucking a lot more interesting, considering I watch a lot less AEW than I watch Raw. All right, so we're going to start from the bottom, work our way to the top.
All right, we might have to go through these a little bit quicker because there's probably 15 fucking matches on this pay-per-view.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches.
Okay.
9 matches.
That's not bad.
Yeah. This ain't WrestleMania 5. All right. So you know these storylines a lot more than I do because you're able to watch AEW a lot more than I can.
Yeah.
So I need you to fill me in on some shit before I give my predictions.
Okay.
Match 1 is the Hardy Boys with Isaiah Cassidy going against Ethan Page and the Guns. If the Hardy Boys and Isaiah wins, then Matt Hardy gains control of Ethan Page's contract. Fill me in on this, my guy.
Well, some time back when, Matt had the Hardy family office, which included Isaiah Cassidy and his tag team partner. And essentially what happened was there was a storyline with Andrade El Idolo, where he took control of the Hardy family office, and then Stokely Hathaway bought out everything from Andrade, so they controlled Matt Hardy's contract.
Mm-hmm.
They had a match between Ethan Page and Matt Hardy not too long ago that freed Matt Hardy. But now, I guess, when Jeff came back, it became a thing. And this is kind of a throwaway match as far as I'm concerned. I don't really care either way. But if I had to guess, I'd say the Hardys and that team wins. I don't know. It's kind of a lame storyline. They've been running that storyline a lot on Dark.
Right.
Yeah.
So, question: Is this like Jeff's return to the ring, like as an actual match, or has he worked on Dynamite or Rampage?
I don't believe he's had a match since he's come back.
Okay, so that's going to be real interesting to see if he's still gassed out or not. Honestly, since this feels like a throwaway match, I'm going to say it's going to be Page and the Guns going over.
Okay.
Just to give that storyline like an ending, because like you said, this feels like a throwaway.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that.
One thing about AEW, and I've heard this from several other podcasters. When it comes to their storylines, they are either fucking spot on, or it is so far out of left field that you just don't fucking care. Like, there's no in between.
Okay.
Now, I've like a lot of these fucking matches are in that fucking spot on thing. This is one of those things where I was like, I have no idea about this.
Okay.
All right, so that's match 1. Match 2 is the Ocho, Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole. Baby. In the unsanctioned match.
Yeah, this stems from when Adam Cole came back. He started getting into shit talking match with Jericho. There was an episode where Jericho and the Appreciation Society handcuffed Adam Cole to the ring rope, and then when Britt came out to save her man, the Outcast came out from under the ring and jumped her. That's where she got the big black eye that they were then making fun of. Yeah. So this is a personal match. I loved the ending of last Wednesday's match with Roddy Strong and Jericho. Both the JAS and Adam Cole were banned from the building, so Roddy worked Jericho inside and out and finally got him outside of the building where Adam Cole was waiting to fuck him up. Thought that was a brilliant strategical move. Obviously, kayfabe strategical move. But you know, this one's hard to call. But I gotta call. I gotta say, Adam Cole wins this.
I agree with you on that one. I'm hoping Adam Cole wins anyway. This is his first major storyline since his comeback, I believe. Has he worked a couple matches since he's came back, right?
I don't know.
He got the ring rust off.
Oh, he had that one match with the 6-man tag match with the week after Roddy came in.
Okay, so he's got a little ring time in, and I'm sure he's worked, off screen and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, Adam Cole all the way. I've always been an Adam Cole guy.
Baby.
I'm hoping, baby. I am hoping that they can get Kyle and Bobby to come back at some point.
You're never going to see Bobby Fish in AEW again. He can't.
I said hope.
He can't fucking keep his mouth shut, and he just thinks he's way more important than he is. Like that whole.
Well, neither could Punk, and now he has his own show.
Yeah, but
Oh, spoiler.
he's not CM Punk. I
This
mean,
is true.
he goes
This
on.
is very true.
He hops over to Impact, and he's talking all kinds of shit about the waves that he makes, and he's like, "Folks, where's the lie? The fact that anyone gives a fuck about you is the lie. Let's move the fuck on."
Yeah. Even just get Kyle back. Like, Kyle was, like, amazing.
Yeah, I'm behind that.
I'll have to look in to see, how he's been. Next match. This is one I followed a little bit, so I kind of get the outline of it. It's Anarchy in the Arena. It's the Elite versus the BCC. Now, I called this to a point. I thought it was going to be a blood and guts match. I called the match wrong, but I got the fucking the matchup itself right. For those of them that don't know what Anarchy in the Arena is, you want to give like a brief outline of what that match entails?
Yeah, if you'll remember during the pandemic, they had that Stadium Stampede match, which was in the empty stadium that the Jaguars play in. So when fans came back, the next year they did Anarchy in the Arena, which is essentially falls count anywhere, no holds barred. They're gonna go all over the arena in. That's the match that Danielson got put out for a little while last year. It's a fun match. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the Elite will wind up winning, but I hope Blackpool Combat Club wins.
You see, I'm gonna call it different. I think BCC is gonna win this one. This is right up their alley.
Mm-hmm.
I know we got a reformed Elite, but name one of the motherfuckers that are 100%. Kenny's quote unquote injured, kayfabe. The Bucks are fucking injured, kayfabe. Adam Page is walking around looking like fucking Captain Hook these days with a fucking eye patch.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said,
I
would prefer BCC to win this, but
they're going to, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like you got Moxley, who was working multiple fucking companies at the same time, fucking still 100%. You got fucking Danielson, who's fresh off fucking return. You got Wheeler Yuta, who is the up and comer of that group, who has nothing but upside, 100%. And then you got the Swiss Superman, Claudio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I don't see the Elite winning this one. I see this one going to All In.
Okay. Yeah,
That's where they'll have blood and guts. I just want a cage match.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's going to be a good match either way, but
yeah,
that's that.
All right, next match is for the AEW International / All Atlantic / Intercontinental / anything else I can put in this title championship match.
Doesn't matter who's in it. I got Orange Cassidy.
It's supposed to be defended in a blackjack battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess an over the top rope battle royal, winner wins the championship.
I imagine so, but I don't see how they give this kind of run to Orange Cassidy to have him lose in a battle royal. Like, I think whoever beats him for the title it's gonna have to be, a big deal.
It would make more sense though if they did the battle royal, and then the winner of that battle royal faced Orange Cassidy.
Right. That
and
would
you
make
know how
more
quickly
sense.
battle royals can go. You can go in and fucking out real quick.
Yep.
Still be mostly 100%, and then face Orange Cassidy in 1-on-1.
Yep. Would have made more sense. Absolutely.
But I'm with you. Unless they got like a massive fucking new signing we don't know anything about, or it's fucking Punk, which they're not going to give a secondary title to Punk.
No.
Orange Cassidy's going over on this one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he catches a lot of shit from people, but he's so over, and he's an amazing wrestler. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. So
I got to be honest. I was one of those people that shitted on him for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
But that was me not sitting down and watching what he can actually do.
Yep.
That was me just basing it off of a fucking gimmick. You know, the hands in the pockets and, you know, whatever. But that motherfucker can work.
Yeah.
Hands down. And like back when he was one of the soldier ants from Ant Colony, back in PWG. Newsflash. Like, I didn't know he wrestled that fucking long before he became Orange Cassidy. So he's made a believer out of me.
Yeah. No, he's a great wrestler. But yeah, I got Orange.
But yeah. Orange Cassidy.
All right.
All right. Next match is a women's match. It is a rematch. The TBS Championship. It's Jade Cargill defending against Taya Valkyrie Part 2. Please tell me this is just a straight up match and there's no gimmicks about finishers aren't allowed or this ain't allowed or what the fuck ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, straight up match. I think it's time for... I think Taya is big enough, strong enough, skilled enough where it's believable that she beats Jade Cargill. I think that
I agree.
It's time, and I think Taya should win it. My only other preference would, and I think she must have re-signed to Impact. I was hoping that they would bring Jordan Grace in to smash Jade Cargill, but beggars can't be choosers, so we'll go with Taya.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right on the Impact thing. I'll have to check, and I will fill you in on next WIW for sure on that. But I agree. Taya, in my opinion, that first match they had, I thought was dog shit. I told you before that program should have been stretched out to a pay-per-view, which, I mean, it ended up being. But that first match didn't need to happen for it to get to where it is.
Right.
But I'm with you. I honestly think Jade needs to drop this workhorse title and start focusing on the main title.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm pretty sure, and you'll fill me in as we get to it, that the women's title's already got a few faces and heels wanting to, you know, work for it.
Sure.
But I think Jade's proven herself enough. And again, she was one of those, I was like, fuck, she's getting handed everything, fuck her, but she's made a believer out of me as well.
Right.
And I believe, even if they don't put the title on her, she needs to be in that picture. She needs to move up. So I'm with you. Taya's going to go over and win the TBS Championship.
Right.
So next match is for the TNT Championship. It's Wardlow going against everybody's favorite evil uncle, Christian Cage. Mr. Turtleneck himself.
Dude, if he sports that sleeveless turtleneck again, he loses by default. I don't give a fuck. I got to go Wardlow on this.
Hold on. There was a stipulation.
Oh.
There was a stipulation.
Okay.
It is a ladder match.
If that's the case, I think Wardlow's got to win.
Yeah, I still think Wardlow's going to win. I think they're just going to use Christian to help build up newer talent.
Yep.
I did see that tweet that Edge and Christian both put out. One last run together.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see Edge ever signing with another company.
Right.
Just because of how loyal he's always been and how WWE has treated him right. I don't think he ever wants to try to burn that bridge.
Respectable.
But I don't know when Christian's contract is up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember if it was a 2-year or a 3-year deal, but Edge has made it very clear this is probably his last year wrestling.
I mean, I like Christian, but he's not a game changer for me. So I mean, he can go back to WWE. It doesn't make much difference to me. I think Wardlow wins. I think there's probably going to be some interference by Big Spiky.
Yeah, explain that to me.
No.
Explain Luchasaurus's new look.
Nope. I shan't.
Yeah, I get nope. I agree, but nope.
I don't there's no excuse for it.
Forget it.
There's no excuse for it. It is never.
Did you just go through a road.
As I've said before, adding spikes to your gear is never a good thing.
I can think of an exception.
LOD is the only exception.
I was going to say Effie.
Oh, I don't know enough
Daddy
about
has
him to know his ring.
Daddy has that spike pink jacket. I mean, it's stud spike, but it's still spiked, motherfucker. I've been hit with it. But yeah, did he just go home and watch the LOD DVDs and just start beating off and be like, that's a great fucking idea.
Be like, that would be awesome. I'll just take one of the shoulder pads off, and there we go. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Dang, does look like a retarded ass Kratos.
Fucking Stegosaurus looking motherfucker.
Stegosaurus looking motherfucker. I love it. But I'm with you. They're not going to give a championship to Christian. Christian's just going to be that guy that's going to help enhance younger talent to get them to the next step. Honestly, I'd love to see Wardlow versus Christian in just a one-on-one. Watch Christian carry him through a fucking match and watch him fucking learn from. And say what you will about Christian. I mean, his career's been kind of underwhelming as far as WWE is concerned, but he is one of the smartest minds in the business.
Yeah. Nothing against Christian. Like I said, I like him a lot. He's not to me, he's not a game changer for a promotion.
No, his big time has came and gone when he won the NWA title in 05 and 06. Yep. That was prime Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has just been him coasting. And I love Christian to death, but that's just my fault.
Yeah.
So we both agree Wardlow is going over.
Yep.
Next match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. And this is one I'm looking forward to. Our boys, FTR, will be defending against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett with Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee.
Yep. Now the cute wrinkle in this, match is last week there was a scuffle in the ring and there was whiskey in the eyes of Dax Harwood, who mistook Mark Briscoe as Jay Lethal and pile drove him.
Yep, I saw that.
So we don't know. The question is, whose allegiance is Mark gonna have? And but in any event, they didn't work this long to get those titles to lose it in the first pay-per-view.
Hell no, especially when they re-signed with AEW to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in my mind, Jeff Jarrett's in the same boat as Christian is.
Right.
As he's just wanting to work with other guys to get them to that next level. Which, I'll say it now, in my opinion, FTR is the best tag team in the world today.
100%.
It don't matter what promotion, what country, what continent.
Nope.
FTR is the greatest tag team in professional wrestling today. And it is because of how they perform. They are different than every other fucking worker or tag team. They work a different style. They work, and I know it's used a lot, but I mean, it's very true with them. They work old school.
Yeah.
catch it, can't can, traditional, however you want to fucking say it. And it sets them apart. And they're so fucking smart, my dude. Like, up until recently when Dax had to, he chose to call off his podcast. But every week that they would talk about matches or his history in the business, it was almost like sitting through a seminar.
Right.
Listening to Dax for an hour and a half. It's kind of like anytime you put on an Arn Anderson podcast, it's a fucking free seminar.
Right.
I've never really heard Cash go into it too deeply because he's never really been on. He's a real private person.
Yeah.
My God, I'm just sucking their balls at this point, ain't I?
Well, I mean, they're nice and salty, I imagine.
I'm sucking balls. I'm stroking cock, giving a reach around for a butt cheek here and there. But I mean, I've watched them like since day one in NXT. Like when Scott Dawson was like the trailer park redneck and he was put with What's Her Face. And then when they actually got put together, and I was like, oh, okay, another generic tag team. And then they got that awesome push in NXT and won the tag team championships.
Right.
And then you got that feeling of, okay, maybe they're going to do something. And you just saw them get progressively better.
Mm-hmm.
Even through the funny, stupid bullshit on the main roster.
Right.
And now, you know, I'll go on a limb and say they're even more decorated than the Dudley Boys at this point.
Yeah.
IWGP, AAA, AEW. Who else have we got?
WWE.
Fuck, there's like three. Yeah, all three of the WWE titles. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. But there was another fucking tag team championship and it evades me. I'll remember it later. But they are the most decorated tag team, in my opinion, in professional wrestling. And that's no disrespect to the Dudleys. None. Please, Bubba, if you ever hear this, don't fucking come put me through a table. Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
This whole thing with the history of FTR and Mark Briscoe, it's going to be interesting to see how it works. You know, because even in character, Mark's a very forgiving character.
Yeah.
Like, if you can prove it to him, like, he'll forgive you and shit. But I can also kind of see Mark, like, flipping the script and turning heel.
Yeah.
After FTR goes over.
Right.
Like, there's no universe I don't see FTR losing the tag belts to Jeff and Jay.
No, I don't see any way. But I also have a hard time thinking that this recently, after the events in the Briscoe family, that they would turn Mark heel.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. But knowing how Tony sometimes takes shit to left field, like we discussed earlier before we started the review, I could see TK trying to do some bullshit like that. But either way, FTR is going to fucking go over. I kind of hope Mark finally gets away from fucking Jeff and Jay, and we get like a Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal feud.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that go to pay-per-view. Not so much Jeff Jarrett, because besides the fact he's on air, he's also backstage. He has a fucking backstage job as well. So I really just want to see Jay Lethal get his flowers finally on a mainstream company. Not saying Ring of Honor wasn't,
Right.
but it wasn't top tier like where AEW and WWE is now.
Right.
And he's put in his fucking dues.
Oh,
It's time for Jay Lethal to get his fucking flowers.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's had some amazing showings in AEW. I don't know if he'll be a champion in AEW, but I think he's proven how great he is already.
Yes. So either way, FTR is my pick to go over.
Yep, me too.
All right. So we got 2 more matches, my guy. We're doing pretty good. All right. For the next one will be for the AEW Women's Championship. It will be the battle of the big booty bitches. Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm. Fill me in on this shit.
This is the whole AEW Originals versus Outcast thing for the women's division. I just don't see Jamie Hayter losing the belt anytime soon. She's by far the most over female wrestler in the company. Everyone loves her. She was a heel, and they forced a face turn. She's their guy. She's their champion, and I don't think Toni Storm is gonna. I don't know. I just don't see Storm winning this, so I'm going Hayter.
Okay. Question: How long has Jamie had the belt?
9.
I remember back in March when we did the review for that pay-per-view, Revolution, that she was champion. I didn't see the pay-per-view before then.
I want to say she's been there since the end of last year, but I don't. Let me see.
Okay.
Let's see.
But either way, in typical AEW fashion, besides that missed call with Wardlow and Hobbs for the TNT title, every champion that's had a belt holds it for a decent amount of time.
Yeah,
At least
she
10 months.
She won it in November 19th, 22. So she's had it for a minute.
So she's had it going on 7 months, 8 months. I don't see her losing it here. However, if they do what I want them to do with Jade and put her in the women's championship, I could see Jamie dropping the title to Jade at All In if that's how it's going to run.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's your major heel right now, as far as a woman.
I just don't
Singles
see this.
woman.
I don't see this Originals versus Outcast thing.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Originals versus New Breed in 06. You know, they had the Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and somebody else, and it was like CM Punk, Marcus Corbin, Monty Brown, Elijah Burke, and Kevin Thorne.
Right.
The only difference is I was interested in 2006. I was a fucking kid.
I like all of the ladies that are involved in this feud. So, I mean, I'm not ready to see it end yet, which it's not. I don't see it ending, but it's not going to end on this match. So, we're going to see Saraya challenge for the title. We're going to see Ruby Soho challenge for the title again.
But in my opinion, this is one of those deals where a championship is not needed for the feud.
No.
In my opinion, the championship needs to get out of that feud so them two groups can go at it full fucking blast, and they're not protecting one person more than the other.
Right.
Cage match.
Sounds good. What's next?
But with what you said, I'm going to agree with you. I think Jamie's going to go over. I think, in my opinion, that's going to be fucking match of the night as far as a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because in typical AEW fashion, the women usually outwork the men somehow, some way. But yeah, Jamie Hayter. Damn, I wish Bella was on right now. We could have her do it. But for your main event, it is the 4 pillars of AEW facing each other for the AEW Triple B. You have MJF, the champion, defending his title against Jungle Boy Jack Perry, the suicidal maniac Darby Allin, and the guy that causes more breakups than anything, Sammy Guevara. I followed this here and there, so I kind of get what's going on. But I don't see MJF losing this anytime soon because there's nobody in this 4-way as of now that A, needs the title, B, deserves it, and C, I can see 6 months down the line defending this title at All In.
Right.
So MJF is obviously my pick. I think they need to build up Darby just a little bit more. I've heard a lot of people talk shit about his size, and newsflash, Rey Mysterio defeated that purpose in 2005 when he won the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
When he beat fucking Kurt Angle and Randy Orton. So size ain't really a fucking matter to me. I think he just needs to be built up, and it needs to happen at a better time. Jack Perry feels like he's just the odd man out here. Like he's just there as a body, as the fourth pillar.
Mm-hmm. Well,
his promos have come. His promos have come far.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that, especially with the Christian stuff from Revolution, it's come far. But there's still something missing till he finds that he don't need to be in a title picture. And then Sammy's just Sammy. He just needs to stay with JAS.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think MJF retains. But I would not be surprised if we don't see a crazy heel turn in that match. There's been a lot brewing between Jungle Boy and Darby. So I don't think that they would turn Darby heel because he's a fucking god over there. So I would not be shocked, and you heard it here first, if Jungle Boy has a heel turn at this pay-per-view.
And you know what? Maybe that's the thing that he's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's that thing that's going to make him connect with me more. Because it's always been as simple as, switching from a good guy to bad guy for me to either fucking like you or hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless. I just think, like, he had his run with Luchasaurus and the tag team thing, and with Marco Stuntz with the fucking little faction thing. That ran its course. Nobody still gave a fuck about Jungle Boy, really. Then he tried his fucking single shit with Luchasaurus. In my opinion, that fell flat. Obviously, because Luchasaurus is now a fucking Road Warrior cosplayer with fucking Christian. It has nothing to do with fucking Jungle Boy. So, I hope you're right as far as the heel turn is concerned. But either way, MJF is going to fucking take this fucking belt home.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to keep it to All In, at least. I can even see him winning it at All In. Yeah. But I know they're trying to save the CM Punk debut for Collision in June, but I can kind of see them start teasing that feud again. Because remember when CM Punk won the belt back at All Out last year, it was supposed to lead into MJF and CM Punk working for the belt. So right. I'm kind of hoping, they start teasing it, even if he's not there. Just tease it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a good pay-per-view. I think it'll be miles better than Night of Champions. And I hope everyone enjoys it. But we're going to be at the AMC Theater in Orange Park, Florida, watching it live with hopefully hundreds of rabid wrestling fans. And we'll probably have footage from there.
I've gone to an all-out event at the AMC, and let me tell you now, it was the night that Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuted. It was that pay-per-view, and the aura of that movie theater felt like I was there live. I was watching that shit as a fucking fan and not as somebody trying to pick shit apart. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope that same aura is there this weekend so you can, share that experience like I did.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. I mean, I hear they're always good, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. We'll probably get some interviews. We'll probably do some broadcasting from there. We'll see how that goes. But that wraps up our predictions for the pay-per-views this weekend. And are you interested in starting a podcast? Podbean.com can help. Are you interested in starting a podcast? Who isn't? Do you know how to get started? Nobody does. But you know who can help? Podbean.com. Podbean is the #1 podcast hosting site on the planet. I gotta tell you, without Podbean, we wouldn't have grown nearly as quickly as we have. They make it so simple. Sign up for an account, you pick your hosting plan, right there on your dashboard. You can apply to all the different podcast outlets. Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it. And then when you upload your podcast to Podbean, they distribute it to all the outlets. One upload, all the action,
The dashboard has all the stats. You can track your podcast. And because they want to help new podcasters out so much, they're offering our fans 1 free month of podcast hosting to get you started. All you got to do is use our affiliate code. The link is in the description and it's right here. podbean.com/HSP1 for a month of free hosting to get you started. Don't wait. You got nothing to lose. Show us your creativity. Go to Podbean, use our link, get a free month, and enjoy creating. Back to the show.
Thank you, Podbean, for helping out our listeners. I just received word from Della that she will not be joining us this evening. So let's just blow through a couple of news stories before we call it quits here. Willow Nightingale is your new New Japan Strong Women's Champion. She beat Mercedes Moné on Saturday.
Money.
It was obviously not supposed to go down that way. Mercedes broke her ankle mid-match, and they called an audible. But in any case, big congratulations to Willow Nightingale. She's a really, really fun character. I dig her. So congratulations to her, and I hope Mercedes Moné has a speedy recovery.
Money. Yeah, I'm really starting to enjoy the women's division over in New Japan. It's really getting to be fun again.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds you of the resurgence in NXT when Sasha and Charlotte and all them were there. Like, I'm getting that vibe from it. So I can't wait to see where it's going to be 6 months from now or a fucking year from now.
Agreed. Yep. Any other news that you know of?
Just our weekly Fuck Brian Cage segment. We go into that. Let me see if we got anything pulled up real quick. I did see that rumor, and I know I sent it to you about Randy having to retire. There has been more reports of him going to other doctors, similar to what Bryan Danielson did when he was working with WWE, trying to get cleared from somebody else. But the doctors are saying the same thing as well. With a back fusion surgery, as you know, 90% of working in wrestling is you falling on your back. And they're just not comfortable with a man with a fused spine to deliberately fall down. Because you got to think, you do that wrong one time, you are legitimately never going to be able to stand up.
Right.
You're done. So I think at this point, as much as I don't want to say it, and as much as you don't want to say it, because we're fucking huge fans of Randy.
Yeah.
I think it's time for him to ride off into the sunset. Give him his flowers.
Unfortunately, I think you're correct. I hate the thought of professional wrestling without Randy Orton. I know we've been living in that reality for a little while, but I'm not looking forward to the day where he hangs him up.
Yeah, this is also something we thought he was going to come back from at some point.
Yeah.
But how would multiple doctors versus both in and out of WWE? It looks like, I mean, granted, he had a fucking 20-year career.
Oh, sure.
It's not like, he started, I mean, it feels like he only started like 7 or 8 years ago. But,
yeah,
dude, you've done your service, in my opinion. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Former WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, tag team champion.
Like 13
you've
time
done it
champion.
all.
Like 13 time world champion, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, between the WWE world title, 13 times. Ran multiple factions.
I mean, yeah, he's done it all. He's done it all. It's so funny how those back fusion surgeries are touchy like that, because I had we're on the reaction video, we were talking about catch wrestling, and my catch wrestling coach had several of his vertebrae fused, and he could roll around and do fucking everything. Like you couldn't tell. I would have never known unless he told me. So it's kind of weird how it affects people and activities different.
Right. I mean, also look at it from the point of view of, is it worth it to even chance it?
Yeah.
Like me and you had this long conversation when I got the diagnosis from the doctor about my neck, the first diagnosis, and that was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I basically did what Randy's doing, is they're basically shopping around for doctors that go, okay, you're good enough to do this or that. But I mean, he has nothing left to prove. He doesn't need to do anything in this business anymore other than, bow out.
And he's a gazillionaire.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't need to do anything except play with his kids and hang out with his family for the rest of his life.
If he really wanted to, he could ship off to Hollywood. I've watched his shitty-ass movies. He's a decent actor. So, if he needs income, I'm sure he could do something.
Yeah.
He can call John or Dwayne or fucking Dave. I'm sure somebody can help him out.
Speaking of John, I hear Randy wants John to induct him into the Hall of Fame when he goes.
As it should be.
Yeah, I think that's the.
That was Randy's biggest opponent through his career.
Yeah, that's the only decision.
I know. As the feuds were happening, we were always like, "Fuck, another John Cena Randy Orton match." But looking back at them, like, oh, those were great fucking matches.
We didn't know what we had, man. Didn't know what we had.
No, we didn't. And we always hear that there'll never be another era where there were two top people like Rock and Austin. We fucking had it back to back. We had Cena and Orton. That I don't think that will ever be fucking duplicated.
Yeah.
I'm kind of depressed.
A little bit.
I'm gonna go listen to voices in my head.
Well, on that note, I think we're pretty much done for this episode of Weekend Wrestling. For Draven Grimes, I
had a good time.
Oh, hell yeah. Good time. I'm Dark Cordz. Thank you for watching Heel Shit. Draven, why do we call it that?
Because bad guys do heel shit.
See you next time.